Hey, what's up guys? I'm Brian Tinker from Tinker Homes. I'm the owner and founder of Tinker Homes, and welcome back to some more tips about how to work with your contractor to build your dream home or project. So today I want to talk about cost overruns, and those include a few things. So you're going to have your material increases, and then you're going to have unexpected costs, and then finally you're going to have your contingency. So a lot of people want to know right from that initial meeting. I had one of these meetings last week where the new prospective client asked, what about cost overruns and how do I know how much those are going to be? Well, obviously that's a very complicated question. Oftentimes cost overruns occur because of almost always unforeseen issues that you run into, or you have an item that you don't have any idea of the cost, what that's going to cost. So I build in the mountains a lot in Colorado, so we have a lot of rocks when we build in those mountains, and more of the land that actually had any soil is all gone. So we have to do a lot of blasting. Well, I never know how hard that rock is underneath the ground. And sometimes I've got to blast all the way to 20 feet in the ground to build a home. So I don't know if that granite is moving toward decomposed granite and it will blow up very easily, or it's going to blow up very, very hard and come out in massive chunks that the excavator has to work with. So you can imagine if it's hard, I have to do more blasting, which is going to increase the cost. And then also that there's going to be all of this rock that's very difficult to move around afterward, and the excavator is also going to charge me more. And then if an owner doesn't want any of that rock on site because it's blown up, jagged edged rocks, it's not pretty, then if we can push it to the side or down the hill and we're not going to hurt anybody, we'll do that if the owners are okay with it. But if they want it to be gone, then I have to put in the extra expense of getting trucks to come, loading the rock into those trucks, and then transporting it to some place for it to be disposed of. So you can imagine that line item, when I put in blasting, excavation, and importing or exporting materials, all of those line items can go all over the place on a build in the mountains. The other issue we have in the mountains is when you're up on top of a mountain, you don't know how deep your project or your well is going to be drilled. Sometimes you hit water in 200 feet, sometimes you hit water in 1,200 feet. Well, that's going to change the cost dramatically of the depth of the well and the drilling cost, and then also the size of the pump, the size of the wire to handle the pump, all sorts of things like that. So those are normal cost overruns that we don't know about, and that's why you have a contingency fee. The last point of this is you can put in a contingency fee on a brand new home for those line items that you don't know where they're going to end up. We don't know how far we're going to go down, so maybe the walls of your foundation are going to be a little bit taller. Those type of things are all going to be incorporated in the contingency fee, and I've never seen a contingency fee that wasn't used, at least half of it was used in those initial phases of the project. On a remodel or addition, you may find that the original builders who built it in the 50s or 40s or 60s didn't build it to today's specifications, almost in every circumstance. And you have to redo a bunch of things, but you can't see any of that when there's drywall or brick in the way or whatever is happening. So you have to determine once you start tearing it apart, and that's another place your contingency costs can be used. So the other thing is material increases on a project. Lumber changes all the time. I just got my letter last week saying, hey, we're coming up to another price change for concrete due to supply and demand, due to tariffs on Canada. Your lumber can go up, and in this case, the concrete went up $8 a yard, all starting very soon. So those costs can move for materials. I don't know what's going to go up. If wood goes up, anything to do with wood is going to go up. So doors can go up. Obviously, your lumber pack for your house will go up. All sorts of things will increase, and your contractor has no control over those issues. And we don't ever know at the beginning where that's going to go. Sometimes prices fluctuate, so you might actually purchase items like lumber in your house when it's a downtime in the year, when the seasons have changed and there's not as much building happening, if that's applicable in your area of the country. But what I will say is that in general, unless a client makes changes to their plans, any labor price that you get from your contractor should stay the same. A contractor should never come back to you and say, oh, this is going to cost more, unless, and I make this one caveat, if it's a remodel of your home and that contractor cannot see in the walls, they cannot see what's there structurally, electrically, plumbing wise, there may be a lot more that needs to be replaced in your house, and then your labor costs are going to go up. But on a brand new building, a brand new home, or any other project that you're working on, those labor costs should not change unless you make changes. So in the end, if you make changes, or if your allowances are much higher than you originally spec'd them to be with your builder, those overrun costs are going to occur. And that's going to happen on several line items. However, there's going to be some line items that are not used at all or that are under budget, and you can credit those to some of those items that go over. But please be ready for cost overruns. They happen on every project, and I have not seen a project in the last 10 years that has actually come in under budget one single time. So don't be surprised, but enjoy your project. It's going to be great. And just make sure you communicate with your contractor and you're asking them all the time, where are we on finances? How does it look? Can I get an update, please? Can we have a meeting to go through it? And you'll have a much more enjoyable experience. Have a great time, build that great home, and enjoy it. Oh, please subscribe below if you would, and like us as well. Thanks so much. Have a good day.